Hello everyone, we're back. Okay, he used a close enough graph. It's really weird though. aLive really wanted to make invites Olivia for some reason. Yeah, usually they don't really care. Either they've already made it, or and they don't want to like take the time. Can sometimes happen, or they usually just don't care. So it's really weird that he wants to make it so badly. He makes the old BaseTradeTV graphs, one that breaks when you change cameras. Actually put camera on, so gonna get him to remake that. It is very weird though that he wants to because I figured like, okay, he doesn't want to have the mod, which I actually could force him to be like, no, we're gonna cast you, like this is what we're gonna do, because that's the power I have, ultimate power. But I don't really see a need to force the issue, I suppose. Yeah, okay, he's fixed it. Cool. So yeah, also, so didn't really, like, wasn't sure what he wanted to do, so didn't really mention anything, but he has now tweeted Rifkin was in an accident last night, which you knew about. He got his dad, I guess, to message us a picture that he tweeted just a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, so wish him well. See, like everyone on Twitter basically already has, and a lot of tweets to him. That's great news. But he's gonna be out of commission. So we're also gonna have to start doing, you know, reschedules, because he actually literally can't do anything. Like both of his arms are broken or sprained. Variation, I think, and then his collarbone also, same thing. So he actually can't, like, you know, there's no playing for him. There's no observing for him either. And unfortunately, when it comes to the Overwatch specifically, because that was happening later this week, it's not that I need to replace one person, you know, like, oh, I don't have a co-caster. It's that I would need to replace two, which is a bit difficult to do because we do need an observer / third caster when it comes to Overwatch. Otherwise, it's really hard. He was the observer / caster last time, and I've tried it so I can confirm. It's really hard to talk Overwatch and observe Overwatch, because observing Overwatch is already impossible. So anyways, that might be moved, etc., etc. We'll get more information to you guys as I can actually get into a call with him, but of course I'm casting now, so that'll be happening later. Pay attention to Twitter, at RifKings, and at, you know, BaseTradeTV and at CGaming, whatever. You all know the deal. So yeah, wish him health and whatnot. Alright, continue the cast. In the top left, as the Green Terran, he is aLive. Really wanting to make the lobby, but it's exactly the same lobby I would have made. I'm just throwing it out there. In the bottom right, a surprise contender in the Corsair Cup. It is the blue Protoss, FunK. So he's GM Protoss on the European server versus what was Keen, right? So I really thought it was going to be Keen versus aLive, which would have been like an Alima League type of matchup, right? Like a good TVT, but it ended up being FunK. FunK 2-0, not even like a 2-1. Keen had a bad day, hasn't been feeling good against Protoss. I think might be the better culprit, but also consider that it's European server. Bad times for the Koreans as well. I'm actually surprised that aLive is here, because aLive is not one of those guys that's been coming around at 2, 3 in the morning Korea time to play on European servers, but maybe I guess now he is. Maybe he's been convinced by his friends, or maybe just wants some cash, I don't know. But cool to see him. I really want to see what FunK can do. I mean, I put aLive a bit higher than Keen, to be honest. But that's more in TVT, because usually it does come down to a certain number of Terrans when you do Korean tournaments. Unless there was that age of Zerg dominance. But anyway, it's been not been that way for a while, so I'm usually like, who's better TVT? When it comes to their respective skill in this matchup, they actually might be very similar, Keen and aLive. I don't know. There's been a lot of grief from multiple Terrans about Protoss. It's not the most imbalanced matchup ever, and it's not quite the same, like, slam your head against a wall that is European TVZ, but it can be very frustrating sometimes. So we'll see if aLive has any better tricks or just better reads on this matchup than Keen does and actually advances to the semifinals. The plan is, I think, still to cast both semifinals, but it is a solo cast, and you gotta do the scheduling with Rifkin, gotta like talk to him, wish him well, and all that, so that might not happen. It really depends on the way this game flows. If like literally both semifinals are ready to go at the exact same time, I don't really want to hold up one over the other, but the way that the brackets are going, it looks like I would be casting one, and then the other would be ready to go after that one's done. So, you know, that kind of perfect world scenario. We'll see. This actual game, though, is already getting a little bit heated up, so it's actually a really quick second barracks after this. Usually you wait to throw down 2. That's weird. Anyway, it's going to be a Widowmine drop versus FunK's regular macro opener here. You got gateways, you got a robo, blink actually on the way, which I don't find that surprising on Frozen Temple specifically, but also in general. You can kind of go a bunch of different pathways with that Twilight Council in this matchup. Well, we really have to pay attention to see if aLive does any damage with his drop. As far as scouting goes, always great to scout. Never say no to scouting. But it's not like FunK is doing a DT drop or something that would be absolutely critical for aLive's medevac to scout. He really will just be saying, oh, I guess it's a macro game. Alrighty then. And then leaving, trying to do some damage. Yes, I see a lot of people talking about the accident, and yeah, just, you know, Olivia's in there, Lily Molly's in there, Zamad, trying to clean up anyone who's being either dicks about it, which I'm sure there are people, or misconceptions. But no, it was a pretty serious accident, so we'll be asking, I guess, to be a little bit more tasteful with your comments. Or we will slap you silly, basically. Widowmine does not get the greatest hit in the world. There was a good pull from FunK. The Marines, though, this is where things always get tricky with a good Widowmine dropper, right? And, you know, Widowmine and Marine dropper. But you just say Marine drop anyways. Is that they can really make 4 or 5 Marines, or 6 Marines, you know, whatever, look quite strong. And that could really be the icing on the cake for this drop. I think maybe he thought about saving the Widowmine, but then he's like, no, I should just try and get it to hit something better. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But with the Marines, gets 7 probes and saves the medevac most importantly, so she could just go back home, get repaired, maybe come back, but more likely just add on to the overall army. Liberator comes up. This is actually a perfectly fine pylon spot, and this should be overcharged. Unfortunately, the Mothership Core is out of position. She didn't die, but she didn't move over, because she's fat and lazy. That's right, I said it. Because she only has enough energy. So Liberator actually survives with killing, I think, 5. Whoa, I was way off. Wait a minute. I saw that 7 was a 3. Did that just change? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Anyways, the point is, it gets 5 probe kills. The Widowmine got another shot, which I kind of forgot about, so looks like it's gonna get even another shot on top of that. No, there's the Observer. Okay, I was about to start, like, scouting, like, is that the Observer? Is this the Observer? No, but it was on the way. The Robo is right there. If he had to make another one, that really should not have taken that long. He does have 2 now. But Blink is now done. So every bit of damage that FunK just took, he's going to try and repay. Unfortunately, because he not only took so much probe damage, economic damage, he also took time damage. You know, his Blink stars had to be this way and that, and his macro probably messed up like the tiniest bit. He really doesn't have this, like, cutting timing that is super scary for aLive. And also, even if he did, there's a good chance aLive holds with these tanks and the number of bio he was accumulating. So this wasn't fortunately, it was a bit doomed from the start. FunK's really got to just basically wait until aLive pushes to really hope to get that much damage done. Because otherwise aLive is fine defending on 2 bases. He's Gucci on 2 bases. It's no problem. But when it's 3, it's a little more complicated. And of course, when his army actually moves out, it's a little more complicated. There you go. Moving out right now, and that was actually so perfectly timed. I'm almost like, that sucks for aLive. I mean, that was just coincidental, very much so, but FunK could have gotten some good damage. Now, aLive does pull back immediately, and unfortunately, losing the War Prism was not the way to go. I guess I said perfect timing, but it actually would have been better if FunK had waited like 5 extra seconds. Oh well, oh well. Really has Blink Stalkers. This army supply is no good. It's no good. The 3rd base was taken really quickly. You can't really kill a 3rd base with a Widowmine drop, so that was a fine thing to do, but because he took so many losses in the probes, it, like, you know, it kind of counteracted it. and he is still hurting. He's also trying to be a little too greedy. Double forge is an awfully greedy way to go. If he doesn't take any damage from the probes, and his blink stalkers are, you know, doing a great job containing, double forge is perfect. But unfortunately, everything went pretty badly for FunK, and to continue doing the same build, I think was always going to be a loss for him, basically. He would have had to probably change over to do something desperate, like DT drops, right? Or only one forge, or no forges even, like just skip the upgrade, try and get more units. But either way, he was in a really bad position, and now he's in a losing position. I don't see him coming back from this. This is just an observer. The War Prism died. No counterattacks here. Tank's not even necessary, just sitting in here, taking care of the Immortals and the Mothership Core, and that's it for FunK. GG. aLive takes the first game. Okay, so now it is going to be FunK's map choice. Tell map to aLive, I guess. Usually I'm so used to asking for the map. So I got a question for you guys. I need the Twitch medical experts, okay? There's almost 1,200 of you. One of you's got to be an actual medical doctor, I believe. But yeah, yesterday I started off with a bit of like a kind of like a twinge in my knee, which has happened before, you know, like kind of you sit a little bit weird or something like that, and you're just like, that feels weird. And then for the next 12 hours, it went from like, that felt weird to like, oh, I can't really climb the steps without pain. Is it like, is it lethal, Doc? Am I gonna die? Because it still isn't gone. I was a little worried it's gonna get worse overnight, so I guess that's like one thing, but I actually just like, I can't. It feels super weird. So, you know. WebMD it for me. Tell me if I have cancer, thank you. Am I friends with any of these guys? Doesn't look like it. Yay, they remember to invite me. Woohoo! Woohoo! Frost is FunK's map choice. Just get in a game, because my face is not that great to look at. Oh, I should probably move to not standing soon. You are... Maybe aLive forgets he's host. Yeah, I think he forgot he was host. Oh, aLive. That was a pretty convincing TVP. I actually don't know if FunK can bring it back. But maybe that was just, you know, that was his, okay, I'm gonna play a macro game, see if I can do it. Oh god, I can. Now he's gonna bring on the cheese? I don't know. I don't want to label the guy because I really don't know a lot about FunK. I know, like, the tiniest amount, and that he's played before in our tournaments, but not much more than that, so... Let's watch. I guess. Actually, Frost could be a good Adept all-in map. We'll see. In the bottom right, as the Green Terran, he is aLive, and he's up 1-0. In the top right, as the Blue Protoss, he is FunK, and he unfortunately did lose in that macro game. That might have been a bit of nerves? I don't know. Like I said, I think FunK's played in enough tournaments to not be that nervous of being cast. But, again, I don't know. But he definitely should not have taken that much damage from the Widowmine drop combo to the Liberator. Because the thing is, the Widowmine drop, he actually dealt with okay. The Marines definitely did too much damage, but the Liberator also added too much as well. And it's like, the Liberator's never unexpected anymore. Like, if you get Widowmine dropped, or like Hellion push if you're a Zerg or something like that, and you aren't thinking like, okay, what's coming out of the starport, then you're playing the game wrong. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Like, they're gonna have a starport, and they're going to probably build a Liberator, like 90% of the time. Sometimes it's a Banshee, but the point is you build a Spore Crawler. you're still okay. For, I guess, a Protoss, Observer, Mothership Core in good position, Stalkers in good position, same kind of deal. Hopefully it takes care of both issues, but there is going to be a starport. aLive is going to be scouted once again, so FunK, again, should probably expect what's going on. Oh, actually not so scouted? Or maybe a little probe in. But it's, you know, I say all this, right? And it sounds like I'm very judgy, which I guess I am. Oh, you should have just tried to go for it, buddy. Oh, well. But yeah, I sound all judgy and whatnot, but it really is just like, everyone forgets. Everyone has their units out of position. You know, everyone has that moment of like, I know Liberator's on the way. Oh shit, the Widowmine attacked. Oh shit, there's the Liberator. You know, like that type of like snowball effect in your mind. And that's why people keep doing the Liberator follow-up, I feel. Because it actually will still sometimes surprise and deal damage. But it is going to be a 1 base, alright? So while I said that FunK didn't really get the greatest scouts, he did see like, hey, there's no command center, that's really suspicious. So he knows the 1 base, it's just a question of what type of 1 base. aLive is basically doing the exact same thing as last game, but without a command center. Great, I have the med reports coming in. Great news, great news. Let's see here. Actually, Twitch Alerts isn't picking up the comments anymore. That's weird. Marcos 4912 sub for 15 months. Get well soon, Rifkin. Here's Ace Kate. Sloza 12,000 says you'll live ZG after an 18-month resub. I'm actually going to the doctor tomorrow for my blood test results, so that was mostly just to give you guys some fun and try and guess as to what's wrong with me. I don't think the blood test results have anything to do with the knee, though. At least I hope not. I don't know. There's been some weird things. I've watched those medical TV shows, you know. Anyway. This is kind of a cool build. aLive goes for the Widowmine drop, which is like the basic thing to do, you know? Like, if you're gonna see a 1 base build from a Terran in your Protoss, like, probably expect the Widowmine drop coming early. But there's always a chance of, like, Protoss, or a Banshee and whatever. But the follow-up is what's going to be a real surprise for FunK, and this is going to be even more of a surprise than that Liberator I was talking about. So, you know, you're dealing with this, you might be thinking, okay, Liberator, let's get that main cover, or something like that, but it's actually going to be this front push with a Liberator, but also a tank, potentially. So it's going to be a big surprise. It's going to be a very, like, finite amount of units that is probably going to be really, like, you know, controlled quite well from aLive. But if FunK isn't meeting this tank push, marine push, whatever you want to call it, down the middle of the map, then it almost doesn't even matter that it's something that has to be controlled very, very properly. The Adept sees at the very least, and he tries to get it back. Trying to kill the medevac too. That medevac would actually help a great deal with the main push, so aLive does want to keep that alive. Total of 7 probes killed. Not bad for the Widowmine drop, because he did again save the medevac just barely. I spoke too soon. 10 probes killed. Oh god, he needs to clean that up. But he saw the push actually, that now it's gone from like worrying about cleaning up the drop and being surprised by the push. It's worrying about the push, and I guess being surprised by the Widowmine. So either way, not doing both parts perfectly is really causing him some setbacks here. SVs were pulled with this, so they repaired the medevac, which is absolutely fantastic, because these are going to siege, and he's going to want to use that medevac to control and move around, and if it's 1 shot away from death, that's when it's questionable. I said he was going to siege the tank, but actually unsiege wasn't so bad either, and he will leave, of course, the other one unsieged. Liberators, there's no blink, and there's really not that many stalkers, so the Liberators should be able to advance forward here with the help of the tanks, of course. There's some good splash damage. Oh, good splash damage, and he's still in the liberation zones, and oh my god, this is absolute slaughter! Oh my god, GG. aLive gets revenge for his Terran brethren, and 2-0 is FunK. Then how does Rifkin know ZG? Through the power and the miracle of the internet. Blew your mind, didn't I? With that 2-0, we'll be going on to the semifinals, I believe. The other match is going on will be Bly Lilikinin. The winner of that will face Guru in the semifinals. And then Healer Hino, so glad I'm not casting that, one of them will advance to the semifinals as well, and the other half of the bracket. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everyone. Continue sending your good wishes and whatnot to Rifkin on Twitter. And I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks to Abarthisty for the 26-month resub. Jesus. Oh, yeah.